Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Freaky Friday. Friday. Everybody loves a Friday. Well, good morning anyway. Another beautiful day where I am in the world on the south coast. I hope the sun is shining, if not outside, within you. And that's what we all try to do. That's pretty much what I try to do. I want to feel good on the inside. I don't want to rely on the outside world to make me feel good. And that's pretty much everything I do, because I come across a lot of stuck and dissatisfied people, despite what seemingly me might be on the outside, and the job and the car and the house and the friendships and the partner and the trappings of what we class as seemingly having a good life. But oftentimes it's not the case. Those outside things don't always do the trick. They give us those little temporary highs, don't they? Those dopamine highs that wear off very quickly. They say even lottery winners go back to like that level of happiness and joy that they feel. Like it continues for a while, but even after about a year, they're kind of back to their normal levels. It's very interesting, that, which doesn't surprise me, because we all the thing about having money, of course, it facilitates a lot more things. It actually, having money means you're probably going to live longer because you can afford better health. I think it's something like 9 years longer. Like, that is incredible, right? Imagine if you could afford private health. Of course, it should be afforded to everybody, but it's not. But that is a true fact. But one thing I do know, that happy people live longer. Happy people live longer. That is also a fact. And there's many things that can attribute to that. One of the biggest ones that I talk about a lot is meditation, because that really helps you get within yourself. But today's live, I called Curiosity and Courage. Morning, Sober Joe. Curiosity and courage I wanted to talk about today. And these two words is a great combination. And I've been running a program called Breaking Your Own Limits. It's a 4-month group coaching program. And we cover 4 pillars. We cover self-awareness, confidence and clarity, relationships, and purpose. And at the very beginning of this program, we talk quite a bit about curiosity and a self-awareness. And awareness is just the word, right, we really need. Like, I think it was the Buddha said, like, when he was asked to I can't remember the question to him, but it was basically, tell me basically what is this Buddhism, what is, this enlightenment, what is it? And he just said one word, and he said awareness. Thank you. I like my t-shirt. It's like a big letterbox. I don't keep anything in it. So awareness, and that is really powerful, because having awareness of ourselves first and foremost, having awareness of how we show up in the world and how we behave, and we behave differently in different environments. So getting curious is one of the big things about the group coaching program. But one of the things that you can really do to help yourself is get curious about you. But also that can then lead into curiosity about other people, because oftentimes we make judgments and we have biases, and we just think we know someone when we haven't even asked them one question or got curious about who they are and what they do and what they like. So it's really important. Good morning, by the way. If you're on Facebook, please say hello, because I'll be able to show your comments up on the screen. We're also live on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and on Instagram. So if you have any comments, please let me know. I'm just going to check. I can't always see all of the comments. Morning, Lauren. Let's see if I can see the comments. It's difficult when I'm trying to cover as many bases as possible, but to stream as many places as possible, it's not always possible to see everything. But yeah, please say hello this morning and let me know how you're feeling. How is your mojo? What is mojo? You know what it is. It's that essence of you. How are you feeling at the core of you? Can you even get to the core of you? I don't know. I keep digging away and keep trying. But one of the ways that I'm doing that is being more curious about myself. Like in the last week and a half, I've probably not felt my best. I've been struggling with my energy levels, and that may well be some of the health things that are just sort of hanging around. And just pushing myself to get my business back to where it was 18 months ago. And yeah, it's been hard. So Jo says she feels a solid 8 out of 10. Fantastic. And yeah, so like I was saying, I hadn't been feeling amazing in the last week and a half. And I've been getting curious with myself, especially in the last day or two. It's like really just digging deep with myself, brain dumping all of the thoughts and feelings that I've got in my head. That always helps us to clear space for some creative thinking and some solutions. And yesterday, like I go to a meditation class, and I went yesterday, and I couldn't park where I normally park, so I had to park up top on this car park. And when I was walking back to the car after the class, I was walking up this ramp, and to my left was this sign saying, "It's okay not to be okay." And it was signed Sam. And I think it's put there by the Samaritans, but it's a big sign. You've probably seen them around train stations and places. I had never seen that sign before, and I have parked in that car park many, many times. It didn't look like it was a new sign. It looked like it had been there a long time, but I'd never seen it. And as I got in my car, and I took a photo of it, I thought, oh yeah, like it's got my name effectively, but I'm sure it's Sam, short for Samaritans. And then I got in my car, pulled away, and then went down a different ramp to go out. And as I came down the different ramp, right smack bang, like literally square in my face, was another sign saying, "It's okay not to be okay." Sam. What? Like, I get a little goosebumps now just thinking about it. And I think that's no coincidence that I have seen those two signs literally within 5 minutes of each other, less than 5 minutes of each other. And I've been delving curious, getting more curious with myself about, why I've been feeling the way I've been feeling, and some of the restlessness that I'm feeling. I think, that's why I was thinking about it last night. It's like this restlessness, and I have this want to escape. And is it escape because I'm struggling to be where I'm at, or what is it? But I don't have the answers, by the way. It's just about getting curious with ourselves about how we're feeling. Good morning, Christina. How are you doing? Happy Friday. So this is, we just start to get curious with ourselves. And it's a big part of self-awareness. And I talk about this a lot in the Breaking Your Own Limits program. It's the month 1 is all about self-awareness. So it's having that awareness of yourself, of how you're feeling, of how your body's feeling, how your mind, like I've just used the word restless for my mind currently. But the other thing that comes with that is acceptance, like accepting that like for me, it's okay not to be okay. I'm okay. Like there's a big part of me that's not my greatest self right now, but I'm also accepting of that because I can't always be happy and joyful, and reminding myself that everything changes, nothing is permanent, and just getting curious about why I might be feeling the way that I'm feeling. What are these underlying feelings about? So I did a lot of meditation yesterday. I did a deep meditation last night. And it helps me, and breath work helps me tap into my intuition to just listen to myself a bit more. So get curious with yourself and be curious about how you behave in certain situations. And one of the greatest things you can do for yourself to have some awareness about this and some understanding is to write it down, or draw, or do bullet points, or Zen diagrams, or bubble maps, or whatever you want to do at the end of your day. Last night, I drew my current reality down. And if you've heard of a woman called, what's her name? Patty somebody, she does a thing called drawing your own future. Christina says she's listening in the car. Good. Well, I hope we've got something awesome for you this morning. I hope you've heard everything I've said so far. If not, go back and watch again. But yeah, you can draw down. Like if you don't like to write, draw it. If you don't like to write or draw, use your phone, and there's voice notes on pretty much everybody's phone these days. Just journal down, like in your voice notes, about how you're feeling, and how you behaved in a certain situation. And then you can reflect on it later on and just question yourself about, what was that about? What was I feeling at that time? Was it a way I want to behave again? Is it something good come from it? It's just asking yourself these questions and getting more curious. And at the end of the day, each day you could do this, or the end of the week. We always talk about wins of the week and gratitude. And oftentimes people, when they do gratitude, they just focus on the good. But we also have to be grateful for the not so good, as hard as it is, because that's where our greatest lessons are coming from. Um, and I'm trying to be grateful for this space that I find myself in, for feeling restless, because I know it's teaching me something. I'm not 100% sure what that is yet, but when you're struggling, it's an opportunity for you to dig deeper, to get curious. And then once we start to become more curious about ourselves, how we're showing up, how we're feeling, how we're thinking, like there's many ways to do that. Like I said, meditation, breath work, EFT, yoga, whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. I use meditation and breath work mostly. And I run, like, I think it was the day before yesterday. I didn't even meditate. I just got straight out of bed and ran because I was feeling restless. And these are all ways to just be with yourself and get with yourself and go within yourself, because that is where all of the answers lie. And then we come on to the courage bit. Courage and curiosity and courage are a great combination, as Lorraine said. She is in my Breaking Your Own Limits program. She's in my Life and Breath membership. I've got some great stuff happening in the Life and Breath membership, and the Breaking Your Own Limits program. We've all got our meetup on Friday, tomorrow, one sleep. So if you join that program, we have a meetup at the end and we all come together, and it's like we start as strangers, we end as friends, and then we have this beautiful meetup party, which is just where we just all come and be in each other's face-to-face energy. But anyway, going on to the courage bit. How courageous are you? How courageous do you think you are? Courage is a big part of life. And when we have this curiosity piece and we start working on that, we start getting curious about ourselves, we might uncover some things that we've been holding back on. And having done a few programs, I ran my deep dive a couple of times last year, and this year it's Breaking Your Own Limits. I noticed that fear is a big thing that comes up for all of us. Fear of stepping into something new, trying something new, fear of being our true selves, all of these fears. And I've noticed the real pattern that this is the thing that it just holds us back, from fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of others, all of these things, fear of success, even fear of getting it right, and whatever your fears are. But to face our fears, we have to have courage to get up every day. Some days just to get out of bed and go to work, to school, to college, to into your business takes courage. This is how we face fear, because fear is, courage is that thing that we do despite the fear. Because, we can't say, oh, just forget it, you don't need to be fearful. Well, I've done many things where I've tried to just push the fear away, and I can't. Like flying is a big one for me. I've mentioned that many times. If the fear doesn't just go, I have to, almost replace it with something. Like I use a bit of tapping. Definitely use breath work more and more now. That works brilliantly for me. But I have to have the courage to face my fears, because on the other side of that is this beautiful, I land in a beautiful place, in a different country. I have a different experience, different people, different culture. And that's what I want. So on the other side of fear is usually a great experience. It'll be, even if it's not always that great experience, you're probably going to have a great feeling because you did it anyway, despite the fear. So that is what courage is about. And I would say, put the courage in front of the curiosity, and have the courage to be more curious about yourself. Have the courage to be more curious about other people. Like if you go in a room and you see someone and you feel that instant, like, they look like a bit standoffish, they don't look like a very happy person. You have no idea why. You might make your judgment. You might think they're just not a very nice person, but you have no clue about that. Go and have a conversation with them. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them what they enjoy doing, what lights them up. Why are they here where they are? Get engaged. No, you're not always going to get a great response, but at least you tried. At least you were courageous and went and had that difficult conversation. So, curiosity and courage are like bedfellows. They are this beautiful combination that can really help you on your personal development journey and can help you feel more alive. They can help you in your understanding of yourself, which is the greatest understanding we need to find, is understanding ourselves. Do we ever 100% get there? Maybe not. And we're constantly evolving and changing. So this is always work that you need to be doing, being curious about, because no matter how great a human being you are, and we probably think we are a great human being, right? I try and practice loving kindness every day to everyone, but some days I'm tired, some days I'm exhausted, some days I don't have the bandwidth, some days, which all humans do unloving things sometimes because of whatever stress. When you've got that underlying stress, we don't have that ability to stretch ourselves, to be loving and kind and generous and warm, right? Because we're tight. There's no expansion, right? There's no expansion. So and when it comes to fear, I was talking about this. I did a video for the Breaking Your Own Limits group last night, and I'll just drop this here really quickly, is when it comes to your fear, this is about, when you lean into it, it's about expansion. So maybe you have this goal or this thing that you want to do. Why don't you dip your toe in a little bit and just expand yourself a little bit? You can lean back and then you can go again, because you've been that far already with it. Lean back and then maybe try and go a little bit further, backwards and forwards, leaning in a little bit more, and you're creating more expansion as you go. Expansion's not dangerous. It's not something to be frightened of. But you, instead of doing the whole big thing, do it bit by bit. Face that fear bit by bit. Like, I had this challenge to do a 3-minute cold shower. Honestly, I felt a lot of fear about that. Like, I hate the cold. I was born to be in the sun. I am half Caribbean, and I don't like cold water at all. I don't like boiling hot water, but I don't like cold water either. I just could not do it. I couldn't get into cold water. There was a big fear. It was too big. So I did the expansion thing. And at the end of my shower, I started to do 10 seconds. And after I was doing 10 seconds a few times, my body got used to that. I'd expanded. And then I went again and I managed to do 20 seconds, and so on and so forth. And 2 days ago, I got in the shower cold straight away from the get-go. And that's what expansion is all about. That's what fear is all about. Leaning into your fear bit by bit, expansion, expanding yourself. And then you're growing yourself, and you can go further and further and further and further. And it's just an incremental way to do it. So those are the little bits I wanted to talk to you about today, that came up for me. I hope you've enjoyed this live. If you have, drop me a DM. If you've got any questions, drop me a DM. Breaking Your Own Limits early bird sale is over. I'm finishing off the webpage for the general sale. We start in September, and I cannot wait for that. The women that were due to finish at the end of May are doing an extra month. They came to me and said, can we do an extra month? So I said, hell, why not? Which is fantastic. That's how great the program is. And some of the comments that have come from them, one has said, I've never felt so relaxed and content with myself. It was the best decision she ever made, was another comment. And one of them said, and I've written these all down because I'm putting them on the website. She said, what was it? She said, I've got all of these new tools that I know that are going to be useful for the rest of my life. How amazing is that? And the thing is, we don't place enough value on ourselves and on our transformation. We don't all need transforming. We all need to be working on ourselves if we want to be the greatest human being we can be and feel alive and have the greatest life that we can have. But we don't invest enough in ourselves. We'll invest in holidays, clothes and cars and things. And I've really changed that. I used to, big house, big car, all the nice clothes, all of the lot. It got me in a lot of debt, and I'm now redressing the balance. Those things are less important. I always say tomorrow. Like yesterday, was it yesterday? Or the day before, I saw this shirt that I really loved. It's like yellow and gold. It's really pretty. And I really wanted it. It was on Wednesday when I was with my kids. And I said tomorrow. And that's what I keep doing now. Rather than just grabbing it and having it, I'm like, tomorrow. And if I still want it tomorrow and I have the money, I can have it. Well, tomorrow has come and gone. I've got plenty of shirts in my wardrobe as well. So it's like redressing that balance, isn't it? Anyway, Lauren is saying, "Good morning, Sam. I'm going away on my own today and I'm feeling excited and nervous." I'm excited for you, Lauren. I did a big trip on my own last year. I went to Costa Rica for a month, traveled around 9 different places. I loved it. And you will feel nervous, excited. But the thing is about nerves and excitement, they are bedfellows. They are very closely connected. So you're going to feel that nerves. I did about Costa Rica. And every time I went to a new place, I had a little bit of nervousness and a bit of excitement. I had a big bit of fear about doing Costa Rica leading up to it, but I just broke it down. You know how I talked about expansion into fear with the whole Costa Rica trip, and you can do this with your trip, is just break it down incrementally. What is the first thing you've got to do? I don't know if you're driving or if you're flying. For me, it was like, right, I've just got to pack my bag. Then it was like, I've just got to get myself to the airport, be in that experience, enjoy that experience, and then get on the plane, get settled, get some books, get some movies, whatever. That was my priority. Make friends with the neighbor in your seat if you can. And I did. And it was a lovely Irish lady, and we spoke for many hours on that 11-hour flight to Costa Rica. So break it down bit by bit rather than thinking about the whole thing, because that's when the fear becomes overwhelming and then we can't cope with it. And if you feel overwhelmed, what do? Drop into your breath. And always extend the exhale. That is the surrender part. That is the letting go part. Always extend it. If you breathe in for 4 and hold it, exhale for 6 or 8, whatever you feel like doing, but always extend that bit. Right, I am going about my Friday. Have yourself an amazing day. I have space for a one-to-one client. Breaking Your Own Limits is coming soon. My Life and Breath membership is open and is changing over the next few weeks, I hope. And I'll always be here doing this free stuff anyway. So you don't even have to pay. You can just be in my world. If it lights you up, if it hits you, if it resonates with you, if it lands with you, let me know. Have yourself an amazing Friday. And I'll probably see you back here on Monday. Goodbye.